BetMGM is pitching baseball fans a chance to swing for the fences. Register using code CHAMPION200 and win $200 in free bets when you place a $10 moneyline wager on any Major League Baseball game and either team hits a home run, regardless of your bet's outcome. Enjoy baseball like never before with BetMGM's daily promotions at your fingertips all season long. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use code CHAMPION200 to win $200 when you bet $10 on an MLB game and either team hits a home run. Sign up today and find out why nothing beats a win at the King of Sportsbooks. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Virginia only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-532-3500.
Welcome, guys, to My Life, My Choice. My name is Dr. Drwendydearborne, and I will be your host for the next 60 minutes and or less. That being said, today is Wednesday, the 16th of January, 2019. We are 19 days into 2019. Yay! So, guys, welcome. My Life, My Choice. What the show really is about and what it has evolved into is a show that's about me, it's about you, it's about us creating the lives that we want to live through the power of our conscious choice. It's about having understanding of the universal laws, and that's laws as in plural, not just the universal law of attraction, but the universal laws of attraction to assist and support you in creating the life that you want to live and consciously creating the life that you want to live. So, guys, make your next choice be your best choice in regard to what it is that you want to do for you. Once again, I am your host, yours truly, Dr. Drwendydearborne, and we will be on air approximately 60 minutes. So, guys, I hope going into, as we're 19 days into it already, but I hope going into the new year, things for you have begun to smooth out. Things for you have begun to take shape. And that, I don't know about you, and I said this last week, that 2018 has actually established a springboard for you to jump off of, in as much as you look at whatever happened to you in 2018 as a win-win. And I believe that's what we spoke about last week, a win-win, making sure that you are able to find a win-win in everything. So anyway, guys, this week we are talking about the discount, the emotional discount game. And I actually think this is really important, very pertinent for many people. So the synopsis, let me just read the synopsis. When we want what we want, many people do what they must to get it, even if it means cutting corners. Human beings, as human beings, the desire to have a specific experience within a relationship, that's with people, places, and things, creates an interesting dynamic for playing the discount game. If you've ever felt that you've been taken for granted and or, people just using you or however that comes down the pipe to you. So if you've ever felt that you've been taken for granted, you've actually experienced being discounted. If you have used someone for your own agenda at their expense, you've discounted that person. If you go back and forth between all the above, feeling taken for granted, then you've been discounted, and or you've got an agenda that you're working at the expense of somebody else. If you're going back and forth doing all the above, you've entered into the discount game. Or as they say, you've entered into the discount game. Twilight Zone. There's nothing wrong with cutting people a little slack, all right? Absolutely nothing wrong with cutting people a little slack. We all need it, and we all can give it. However, discounting is something totally different, and the ramifications are nothing short of disastrous. It creates silent chaos within you, and it really does create a kind of, and it is chaos, this whirlwind within you. So it creates a silent chaos within you that erupts into a towering, uncontrollable volcano. And like I said, the ramifications are disastrous. The ramifications can be disastrous. And so it's for you to do what it is that you need to do for you so that you don't enter into this emotional discount playing game. So once again, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne, and I will be your host for the next 60 minutes, or as it will be, 55 minutes or less. And let me just say this. Be sure to check out my website, thelawsofattractioninaction.com, or a shorter version of that is LLawsoaia.com. That's the shorter version. So, the definition of discount as we are applying it, or as I am applying it to the laws of attraction in this show, to anticipate and make allowance for. Often, and this is where I'm going with this, as in discounting, often as to diminish the effects of, and you fill in the blank. Incidentally, the prefix dis, D-I-S, means the opposite or reversal or to take away. Discount really means, in this instance, to take away a portion of. Now, as I said earlier, there's absolutely nothing wrong with cutting somebody some slack. So there's nothing wrong with making allowances for someone, yet not at the expense of self or others. When you actually make allowances for someone at the expense of self and others, or to discount at the expense of self or others, creates look, guys, it just creates a host of problems. And it creates a host of problems that actually impacts your life. And it can impact your life for the long term and not just the short term or the midterm. It can really impact your life. And people don't even really realize this. Discounting or cutting corners within a relationship. And let me say this. If you have ever had work done, whether it be on your car, whether it be on a home you're building, whether it be, or it doesn't matter, if it's on something that's being put together, something that's being made for you, and somebody's discounted and or they've cut corners, 9 times out of 10, no, I'm going to be generous, 7 times out of 10, you kind of realize, oh, snap, I shouldn't have done this. It's like people who will go to different places for perhaps discount, cosmetic surgery, have cosmetic surgery done at a discount place, and or go somewhere else where they're able to give you the rate that they're giving you because they are cutting corners. Be very careful when somebody talks to you about discounting and or cutting corners, because the corner that they may have cut may well be the corner that you actually need to help support and balance you. So discounting or cutting corners within a relationship is a dangerous game. Ultimately, there are no winners. There are no winners. Within a relationship, when you're discounting and cutting corners, what it does is it diminishes you, and by virtue of the fact that you are diminishing self, that means everybody who shows up within your sphere, everybody who touches your orbit, your world, your life, they too are diminished. To discount truly is giving an excuse. To discount is also a form of abuse. It's denial, and it's like invalidation of somebody else's truth or their expression. To discount somebody can actually be a weapon. To discount somebody and to discount them consciously can truly be used as a weapon to hurt, to suppress, control, or have dominance over. You know, ironically, when you seemingly, or unconsciously discount somebody, if this is how you show up in life, that you discount most people around you, it has the same effect as you consciously doing this. It has the same effect in as much as it is a weapon that can hurt. It is a weapon that can suppress. It is a weapon that has control or dominance over. It has the same effect. You see, this is why understanding the nuances of the universal laws of attraction is so important. It's so important. This is one of my missions in life, that and for people to understand the first law in the universal laws of attraction is choice. My mission is for people to understand the nuances in what we do and what we do on a daily basis. You know, I think it was earlier today, I'm sure. It was earlier today. I was actually looking at something on YouTube. No, I was looking at something on Facebook, and I think they actually, long story short, today I looked at something on Facebook, and it kind of jogged my memory. And it jogged my memory in a way to share with you guys the importance of meditation, and not just the importance of meditation for meditation's sake, the importance of actually utilizing meditation as a tool, as one of the greatest tools that we have in life to create the life that you want to live. And yes, meditation is a tool. Meditation is a tool just like the laws of attraction are tools for you. Meditation assists and supports you, and can assist and support you in getting clarity around what you want. Meditation can give you the place and the space, and a safe place and space, to do the internal work that is required of you so you can have the things that you say that you want in life. Meditation is, several years ago, I'd done a show and it was called Meditation is the Key, or the Key to Meditation, something like that. But I've done a show about meditation, actually several shows on this podcast about meditation. It truly is one of the most powerful tools that you can have, and you have access to it. You know, nobody, absolutely nobody, can do what you can do for yourself. So guys, it's vitally important to understand that the universal laws of attraction, they are made up of nuances. And these nuances can be so small that we don't even realize them. We don't even realize them. You know, everything has a cause and everything has an effect. There's a cause. And people will say, as I have said many times, it's like action and reaction. Well, believe it or not, those two are very, very, very similar, but they're not the same. Action and reaction, cause and effect. The cause is telling you, action is the doing of. The effects are the results of the action. And the reaction is showing you an action that is the result of an action. This is a nuance. This is a nuance that can be the difference between you manifesting what you want and the difference between you not. It can be the difference between you having health, the health that you want, and the difference between not. The difference between you having the wealth that you say you desire and the difference between not having it. As I said last week, I believe it was last week, as I said last week, you know, you can't ask for something and be working on it diligently, and I really mean this, doing your due diligence, doing everything that needs to be done. And then, you know, you say that you want to have £1,000, I don't know, pounds, $1,000 or whatever it is in the bank. You want a new car, you want, you know, the right relationship, whatever it is. And in the next breath, you know, you're saying to yourself, I'm never going to meet, you know, the right person. Or I don't see how that's going to work. I know it's not going to work because it never works. You know, I never get the money that I need when I need it. Nuance. You can't negate. And then get upset because you're like, you know, I meditate, I affirm, I've got my, you know, my vision board and blah, 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 blah. And this stuff just doesn't work. If you find that you are working, you're doing, as I call it, your divine inspired work, and you are doing what you believe to be your divine inspired work to manifest what it is that you say that you want to manifest, and that manifestation isn't coming into being and hasn't come into being, I'm going to say to you guys, don't take the stance that, you know, God's not ready for me to have it now. Because you can have what you want in the blink of an eye. For those of you who are biblically inclined, it tells you that. Believe and you'll receive. Bottom line. It doesn't say there's a time limit on it. It said that it is the universal creator known to me as the God within. It's pleasure to give you that which you have asked for. So if you find that you're asking for stuff and it's not coming your way, it's not manifesting, and perhaps things that are coming your way have a tendency to be a little bit disastrous, or it's like, oh my God, I didn't really want that, then look at the other things that you are doing in life. Look at how you are, excuse me, look at how you are talking to yourself. Look at yourself talk. How are you talking to yourself? How are you talking to other people? How are you showing up? Are you in the survivor's mode? Is that how you live? In survivor's mode? Is that how you live? Dependent on people and then very angry when the people aren't doing what you feel that they should be doing. Very, very angry. Very, very angry. So for you guys, where are you? Are you constantly moaning and complaining? Are you constantly ill? Do you have a minor disorder that you just can't get rid of? You know, do you always have a cold? You know, where are you in your process? Because wherever you are in your process, if you are unable to manifest what you want, whether it be a relationship, whether it be finances, whether it be health, whether it be a partner, if you cannot do that, and some of these things that people want to manifest, they're the basic necessities of life, I think, like having heat, having food, and it's just not coming. then you need to look at what else you are doing. How are you talking to yourself? How are you talking to yourself? Because I can guarantee that you are playing the emotional discount game with yourself. And if not with yourself, you are doing this to other people. You are discounting who they are. And as a result, that which you put out has to come back to you. So once again, cutting corners and discounting within a relationship is a dangerous game. Because once again, guys, there are ultimately no winners. You are only diminishing self. And hear me clearly, you are diminishing yourself if you allow yourself to be discounted in your game of life. Now, one of the things that we can witness, and perhaps if you're able to cast your mind back this far, but we can definitely witness the behavior of discounting happening all around us 24/7, 365 days out of the year, 1,400 minutes in a day. We can see it, and there is no escaping from it. You see, guys, as long as we are interacting with people, and we're interacting with people and not feeling a sense of security within, and I'm not talking about people making you feel secure. Nobody can make you feel anything. You choose how you feel. Nobody can make you feel anything. One of the reasons why, let me find a pen, guys. One of the reasons why you have somebody who can do gymnastics and they go out on the beam, I think it is, that long bar, the beam, they'll go out on the beam and, they'll go out and they'll do their and they go out and people say, oh my God, she just jumped up on there and she's like fearless. Well, within her, she has, or he has, a sense of security. He or she has a sense of security. And believe it or not, they're taking ownership, they're taking responsibility and accountability for themselves and their feelings. So, like a little gazelle, they jump up on the bar and you're like, oh my God. But as you say, oh my God, you are discounting that you can do that yourself. Because going through your mind, whether you say it or not is this, oh my God, I bet if I fell up there, if I got up there, I'd just fall. You've just discounted yourself. And as a result, playing that game, you have diminished who you are. But like I said, we actually witness the behavior of discounting happening around us every single day, 24/7, 365, 1,400 minutes, that's in a day. And as I said before, guys, we can't escape it. We cannot get away from it. And as long as we, you, me, are interacting and not feeling a sense of security within, one, you're not taking ownership. When you don't feel a sense of security within, you're not taking ownership. Two, you're not taking responsibility. Three, you're not taking accountability for yourself. And as a result, when you feel this way, that interaction can literally cause people with their agendas to create the life that they want at the expense of you. And when people are doing something at the expense of you, believe me, they're working from a discounted plan. They're working from a discounted view of you. Now, another way that you may have witnessed this, or it's really easy to witness, and I say this in its purest form, is to observe children. Now, you might have seen this in the grocery store. You might have been, anywhere. You might have seen this even within your own family, etc., etc. So you have a child, and they will be attempting to express themselves, attempting to express what it is that they want to say in the way in which they want to say it. And someone will interject by telling them what they're feeling or what they're trying to say. And it's like, wow. And if you watch kids, you know, they'll try and tell you, no, that's not what I was saying, Mummy. No, that's not what I was saying to the little friend. No, that's not what I was saying. And a lot of times, people will do this more often than not because they are older, and because they're older, and or because they feel they know better. And of course, because they've had a certain experience with you fill in the blank, and this is what happens. And as I say, when you look at children, when you observe children, you can really see this playing out. And one thing that I'd like to say here as a caveat is the actual interjection. The person who interjects isn't actually limited to mum and or dad or an authority figure. It can be their peers. As you watch children, I'm talking about children, it can be their peers or even somebody who is subordinate to them, somebody who is younger than them. But believe me, this game plays out daily. The unfortunate thing for us is that these types of behaviors, these types of learned behaviors, which more often than not are limiting, they've spilled over into our adult lives. Discounting or cutting corners in how we deal with life doesn't give us the results, doesn't give us the results that we really want. The irony is that sort of psychologists and therapists, etc., they can give hundreds of reasons why this happens. And believe me, I would say that all 100 reasons for me would be valid. However, as a choice and clarity expert, as a choice and clarity coach who understands the laws of attraction in action and the nuances of how they work, truly, when we start discounting, when we start playing a discounting game, whether it's other people and or self, which really that comes from, it boils down to this. It boils down to fear of. And you fill in the blank. Now, it might not feel this way. It truly might not feel this way. It might not feel like fear has anything to do with me being taken for granted, me not being accepted for who I am, me actually taking other people for granted. Whichever way it goes, what it boils down to is fear. F-E-A-R. F-E-A-R, yeah. What it boils down to is fear. This particular podcast really isn't about fear. That being said, I really do believe that it needs to have an honorary mention today. The emotion of fear provides the energetic choice for motivation and or inspiration. You know, fear in itself, fear as a universal law, fear as an emotion, is very beneficial in our life. In our lives, it has the ability to actually sometimes save us. It has the ability for us not to do some of the things that we are going to do. You know, as a kid or as a teenager or what have you, if you're actually scared of your parents, it sometimes can allow you to make decisions that aren't in the best interest of self, because it's about self-preservation. Fear has the ability to do that. Fear has the ability to assist and support you in self-preservation. And like anything else, when dealing with the universal laws, you have the universal laws of polarity, or the universal laws of opposites. In actual fact, and that's where I'll go with this, you have the universal law of opposites, and polarity and opposites are actually different. Polarity actually speaks of or speaks to an electromagnetic current that runs between the two poles. But that's a whole nother story. So we'll talk about the pole of, the universal law of opposites. You see, fear provides emotion, the emotion, or I'll take that back, guys. Fear provides the energetic choice for you to be motivated, or for you to be inspired. And once again, all things in nature are subjected to the law of opposites. And here, the universal law of opposites is invoked because fear provides the same energetic choice for you to be unmotivated and uninspired. As I spoke about at the very beginning of the show, action that you take is a choice. And every choice has a reaction. Every choice has a reaction. And that will give you a cause and a direct effect. You know, guys, we are into 2019. And I know you guys are like, yes, I know. Don't you feel, and I'm phrasing the question this way. No, scratch that. Isn't it time, or isn't it beyond time, for you to have what it is that you say that you want? Isn't it beyond time? And I know I use the phrase, and I use it very, very frequently, nothing before its time. And perhaps as I'm here on the show, that I may need to readdress that phrase with myself and look at that and really see what I'm wanting from that phrase. Am I actually discounting what I want, or discounting what I need to do by using that kind of colloquialism? Once again, fear is a powerful, powerful, powerful medium. It can motivate you and or not. It can inspire you and or not. But guess what? You get to choose. You see, guys, as you start looking at your life, and this year is about being able to transmute. This is about moving energy. This is about moving energy, movement, silent, going within. Go within. Use the silence of your mind to see where you need to move your energy so that you can do what you say that you want to do. In your life, discounting yourself and others will show up in many, many different ways. Sometimes ways that we don't even we haven't given credence to. Condoning negative behavior by not saying anything when somebody's doing something wrong is discounting you, and it's discounting them. By condoning bad behavior, it's the same thing. by condoning abuse behaviors. You are playing the discount game, and it's an emotional game. Not speaking up and speaking out. When, for you, something is wrong. You're playing a discount game with yourself. And as I said at the beginning of the show, there's no winning in this game. There ain't no win-win. Last week I spoke about win-win. There's no winning in this game. Choosing to be too passive for the sake of an argument or aggressive because you're afraid of the outcome, you are discounting. And guys, please don't get me wrong, because people are always saying to me, well, it sounds like I need to be emotionless. No, your emotions are such a relevant part of who you are. Your emotions are such a relevant part of your choice-making process. Your emotions are flags. They tell you something about you. They tell you something about what you like. They tell you what you don't like. They tell you what you do like. And in that process, they assist and support you in making choices. Choices whereby the universal laws of attraction can go out and do the work that you have assigned them to do. Your emotions tell you about your likes and dislikes. So when you actually go into prayer, you could go into prayer knowing categorically that the thing that you are asking for, the thing that you have said thank you for before you have received it, is the thing that you really want. Your emotions aren't designed to actually make the choice on. You can't base your choices based on, I hate him because he always stirs his coffee and it makes so much noise. No, guys, that's not how it works. That's not what your emotions are telling you something about you. The name of the game is for you to listen so that you can pick it apart and figure out what it is that you want. Guys, look, none of us are going to be here forever. None of us are going to live forever. Not in this dimension. Your time here on earth is but for a moment in the grand scheme of things. However, that moment is pertinent to you. That moment is powerful to you. That moment is important for you. We take nothing physical from this life. We're not taking the car, we're not taking the chair, we're not taking the money, we're not taking any of that. What we take from this life is the experiences that we have created through the power of our ability to choose for self. So discounting as it shows up in your life, or as it is showing up in your life, you really need to know and understand the ways that it will show up. People give discount and passes, as I call them, the hall pass. You get to walk about when you really should be in class with your ass sitting in the chair. People give discounts. They give discounts. And they say it's because, they always act like that. Ranting and raving, cussing. They have an explosive temper. That's who they are. Well, that behavior, there's something wrong with somebody if this is how they're showing up. And that behavior, by continuously excusing or discounting those kind of behaviors, you are acting as an accomplice to that bad behavior because you are enabling them. And by enabling them, you don't do anything good for you. When somebody is long suffering or they're this self-proclaimed martyr, or this is how they show up. This is how they're showing up in life. And you give them a discount. You give them that discount. And when I say discount, let me just be clear. While you know that it's not all right for them to do this, you make an excuse. You make an excuse. You cut them too much slack. You give them another pass, another benefit of the doubt. All of these things. And guys, hear me clearly. In the right context, in the right moment, that can be powerful too. But when somebody is doing stuff like this, they're showing up as this self-proclaimed martyr, and you discount them, what you're doing is you're supporting their destructive or self-abusive behavior. When somebody drinks too much, or when somebody smokes too much, or when somebody they eat too much, you don't say anything, or you don't say anything positive that can assist and help. Guys, you're enabling. When your spouse speaks to you in a debasing or demeaning manner, and you choose to discount it by saying, it's all right, they've had a bad day. Really? And then when your children follow suit, and the kids aren't discounted because they're kids, you've discounted yourself and them. It's not only a disservice that you've done to yourself, it's a disservice that you have done to others too. And believe it or not, the knock-on effect impacts the world as you know it and don't know it to be. At the I would have been on air come March of 2019, 10 years. I'll be celebrating my 10th year on air. And the number 10 actually is the number of new beginnings, lots of new beginnings. But that being said, very, very early on in the show, very early on, one of the very earliest podcasts that I have done, I speak about this. And actually, I've spoken about this as we've gone through the years. So it's a little bit like this, guys. I go into the bank and I'm huffy. I'm huffy because I got up late. I got up late because I was watching, I don't know, Game of Thrones. I was watching whatever. I was binge watching. I know I've got to go to work. I know I'm not a morning person, but yet still, because I'm a night person, I stay up all night and I watch this thing. I'm late for work. I've been late for work this past couple of weeks 5 times. My boss has told me, you cannot be late for work anymore. Bottom line. You can't. You're skating on thin ice. So I get to work. I'm kind of late for work. However, the boss isn't there, so I think I've slid. I've skated through. But now, because I'm late for work, I need to catch up with what I was doing. So I now need to go to the bank because I'm actually on vacation the next day, and the next day is Sunday, and the bank isn't open, and I need money. And so I go to the bank. I'm late, and because I'm late, I don't have anybody who can cut me slack in the office so that I can go to the bank and do what I need to do. So I get to the bank, and I'm in line, waiting, and of course, it's my turn, and up goes the sign, next, closed. See the next teller or cashier. And it's like, oh my God. And then there's this little old person there, and they're trying to get what they need done, and I'm looking at the clock, and it's later and later. I cannot be late back to work from lunch. And now I'm pissed. So somebody waits on me. I snap at her. She's already having a bad day. Unbeknownst to me, 2 days ago or 3 days ago, she had a miscarriage, but she said she's going to come to work so that she can, work her way through it. I snap at her. She starts crying, blah, blah, blah. And it becomes a disaster, guys. when you don't show up as who you need to be and take responsibility and ownership and accountability for the things that you do, what happens is you impact somebody else's world. This girl is crying. Her sister's leaving to go to Australia on the other side of the world. The other side of the world. They're meant to hook up that night to have dinner. She goes, she's got a face like a slapped ass. Her sister asks what's wrong. They have an argument. She gets on the airplane the next morning, still upset, can't get her head in the game. The flight attendant said something to her. She kicks off, and they call the airplane police and drag her off the plane. This is how life unfolds. This is the silent chaos that erupts into a towering, uncontrollable volcano. And people say to me, yeah, right, Wendy. No, this is true. You can see this outplaying in your life. You can see this unfolding as you look at life. You know, why would he go off and kill all these people? Why would he do this? Because somewhere in his or her life, they have discounted themselves and they have allowed themselves to feel discounted. And then they erupt. So guys, it's really important. It's vitally important that you do not, you guys, look, you do a disservice to them and you do a disservice to you. Guys, look at how you show up. Look at how you're showing up in life. When you show up in your truth and you express your truth, that's the way to go. It may not get you the popular vote. It may not get you the popular vote, but I tell you this, guys, it gives everyone permission around you to show up in the same way, in their truth. You know, people are going to act towards you how you act towards yourself. People are going to act towards you how you choose to act towards yourself. You keep giving discounts and getting nothing back. You keep discounting people's bad behavior, whether it's your spouse, if your spouse has stepped out on you, and you keep discounting this bad behavior and all the things that led up to it. What's going to happen to you is there will be nothing left for you to give. You won't be able to give no discount because you will have run out. And those whom you freely give the allowance, these allowances to, who no longer get them because you can't give them, they're going to be pissed. You see, guys, energy requires energy to do energy needs to do. And hear me clearly when I say, from an energetic standpoint, universal energy couldn't care less whether it's good or bad. That's an emotion. The universal energy is only interested in the energy and the end. What is it that you want? So, guys, what goes out must come back. So, are you discounting you? Are you discounting you? If you are discounting you by the natural laws, God's laws, universal laws, spiritual laws, whatever you want to call it, discounting attitudes, discounting manifestations have to come back to you. Now, for you, that might mean, that, hey, you're doing really well in the financial department. However, because you discount people and you take people for granted, and you take them for granted because you have an agenda that you're going to use at the expense of them, somewhere in your life, it's going to show up. And it will show up in this life that you are living. This is the stuff that you take This isn't stuff that you take with your transit. This isn't the stuff that you take with you when you transition. No, you have to work it out here. You have to work it out here. Because it started here. You get the experience to go, but the actual, the processing, you got to do that here. Don't think you get to do that anywhere else, because you don't. What you start here finishes here. That's the way it goes. That's the way that goes. So what you put out has to come back to you. If you don't like your life, if you don't like what's going on in your life, you need to look into your life. What are you discounting? What emotional things are you discounting? Why are you discounting yourself? Why don't you feel that you're enough? Why don't you feel that you're enough? Remember that this means no or opposite or to take away. So in your life, if you're feeling disharmony, if you're feeling dislike, if you're feeling dishonest, disingenuous, disloyal, disheartened, disrupted, if you're feeling anything that you can put this in front of, understand that it means that something has been taken away. Something has been taken away. Is it the joy? Is it the happiness? Something's been taken away. And when you continue to show up in life like you've been disrespected, disliked, all this stuff, you need to understand that you are creating an experience for yourself where more of this will show up. Discounting doesn't do you any favors, whether you are on the receiving end or on the giving end. Understand, it's not a win-win. It's not a win-win. You do a disservice to yourself and you do a disservice to others. When you actually discount, and I've sort of like made a little synopsis of this, when you actually discount in your life, basically two major things happen. Based on your internal process, your physical body will try to get your attention by failing and or manifesting some dis-ease, disease, or some disorder. Disease, dis-ease. You are not at ease within yourself. So externally to self, that the physical body will not be at ease either. Or you are in order. That means your inner self is not in order, so your external self, will not be in order. So that's one of the two major things that can occur. The second is manifesting consciously becomes difficult. Manifesting consciously becomes difficult. Why? Because by discounting things, people, places, and things in your life are creating a premise. You are creating an energetic stream by which you are transmitting that which you say that you want on. So when you are discounting, if you are discounting people, places, and things, and wanting to manifest people, places, and things, but the prevailing energy, the foundation upon which you are standing, is that which you're putting out, you can only manifest that which you are truly putting out. Let me just say this. When you discount, you are also using fear as a weapon to disempower, and it can be used to motivate, it can be used to inspire yourself and others, and fear, it can be used to unmotivate, uninspired, the whole 9 yards. It has the exact opposite. But when you are discounting, understand that you are truly coming from a place of fear. And most people are afraid because they are afraid of something not happening for them or to them. They're afraid of fear is one of those primordial, I think the word is. Fear is one of those primordial emotions that we have. Fear is about us being able to live the life that we want to live. That's what fear brings to you. So, guys, as I wrap up here, one of the things I'd like to say is let's be clear. And I really mean this crystal clear. The universal laws, and guys, it's laws plural, of attraction are immutable. You can't change them. But yet still, within the universe, what has been given to us, these beautiful tools that have been given to us, are malleable, but still immutable. They can bend, they can twist into a pretzel, they can do all sorts of stuff, but yet still, within the core that runs through them, nothing's changed. The law of love is the law of love. The law of joy is the law of joy. The law of forgiveness is the law of forgiveness. Doesn't matter how you try to bend it. The law is the law. The law of gratitude is the law of gratitude. It doesn't matter how you try to bend it. And you can bend it. But it's still the law of gratitude. Now, you could have a twisted sense of law of gratitude, but that's somebody else's opinion. So, guys, discounting is about being dishonest. If you are living a lie, this is what will manifest for you, the lie that you are living. That is God's law. That's the universal law. That is spiritual law, natural law. It's immutable and unchangeable, yet will bend and mold itself to who you are, which is why that which you put out comes back to you. You know, the bread that you throw out there is the bread that you get back. So, guys, the next time you actually cut someone some slack who is forever doing things that you actually don't like, and again, your emotions talk to you. So the next time you cut somebody some slack, recognize you may be discounting them. And as a result, discounting yourself. That which you put out has to come back to you. So they're forever doing something you don't like. Ask yourself this question. What value does this action, the action of me, cutting them some slack, giving them a hall pass, saying it's all right when it's not, all of these are discounting. Okay? What value does this bring to my life? And the other question to ask yourself is, what benefit does this bring to me and to others, including the person that you are discounting? The other thing is, if you are being discounted and you feel like you're being taken for granted, ask yourself the same question. What value does this bring to my life, and what benefit does it bring to me and others? So, guys, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Until next time, guys, I look forward to seeing your face in the place. Cheryl, love you guys. Love you. And until next time, peace.